Hi guys! So today I thought I'd do a Halloween makeup look. I am by no means a makeup expert. I usually just play it safe with my face paints. But I thought I'd give it a go and make a tutorial in case any of you wanted to give it a try. So I started with my eyebrows. I brushed the hairs upwards with an eyebrow brush. I then used a small angle brush to draw a line of brown eyeshadow along the bottom of my eyebrow. I then used the same brush to drag the eyeshadow into the brows, and I repeated this process until I was happy with the colour and shape. I then rubbed some Blur Cream by L'Oreal Paris onto my skin. It blurs your pores and leaves a really smooth surface for you to apply your foundation onto. I added some foundation to my face and worked it in with one of my favourite Bare Mineral brushes. I don't like anything too thick or orangey. At the moment I'm using 123 Perfect by Bourjois. Once I'd finished this, I used my finger to dab a little concealer onto the skin under the eyes to cover up my bags and around the eyelids. I also put a little bit around the nose. I'm using Boing Concealer by Benefit. I quickly went in and added some highlight cream from the Body Shop to my cheeks and under my eyebrows. I set this with some powder by Revlon called Photo Ready. I began working a really light shimmery eyeshadow across the whole lid. I think the one I'm using is from Benefit. I then went in and added some dark pink brownie colour to the edges of the eye and into the crease. From here I just kept building up the eyeshadow, gradually using darker shades. I left the inner eyelid quite light and worked the darker colours into the outer edges. I wanted to make this look quite dramatic and Halloweeny, so I dragged some of the eyeshadow outwards to create a winged look. I then just kept using a baby wipe to keep the lines nice and crisp. When I was happy with the colour, I added some iridescent glitter dust to the eyeshadow. I then enhanced the eyes with some liquid eyeliner. I used Colour Stay by Revlon. I really like this liner as it's almost like drawing on with a felt tip. I added some Ben Nye glitter glue to the edges of the eyeshadow and attached some chunky glitter. I quickly stuck on some lashes and then added a little bit of bronzer to the face. I then took some white paint and drew onto the skin where I wanted my cuts to be. I initially drew 3 lines, but I changed my mind afterwards and just had 2. I brushed the lines with some Grimace Special Effects glue. To make the cuts in my skin, I used Ben Nye Nose and Scar Wax. It comes in different skin tones. Take a small amount and roll it into a sausage shape. Then use your fingers to flatten the wax onto the glue. To shape my wax, I used a makeup spatula. It has a flat end and a pointy end. I used the flat end to pull the wax out onto the skin. I wanted to make the wax as thin as possible on the edges so it blended into my skin. I kept working at it until the area around the wound was smooth. I then used the pointy end of the spatula to slice a line into the wax. I removed some of the wax from the centre to make a hole. I continued to smooth out the edges of the wax. Once I was happy, I added some foundation around the cut. I repeated this process below. I then painted the centre of the cuts with some black paint. You could also use black eyeshadow. I took a cotton bud and dabbed some red eyeshadow around the edges of the wounds. I also added some purple eyeshadow for bruising. I took some fake blood and filled the centre of the cuts. I used my finger to dab the blood around the edges of the wax. I added some more powder and blusher to my good side and then went in and painted my lips with a metallic grey paint. I added some iridescent glitter whilst it was still wet. And there you have it, a glamorous but creepy Halloween idea. Check out my blog for more Halloween ideas. Thanks for watching.